So today I'm reading some of your Fortnite hot takes. I'm going to tell you whether I agree or if these takes are a little too hot. Augments need to come back and be permanent, replacing medallions. So I will say this. Augments were a great idea, but it ended up being underutilized. A lot of players didn't even select their augments because they weren't too impactful. And if the augments were powerful enough, they just had too many gameplay changes that you really couldn't account for because you don't know what kind of augments people have, but you can usually tell what kind of weapons or medallions they're using. So I'm just going to say I disagree. Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 1 was criminally underrated. People really liked Chapter 6 Season 1, and so did I, but to say it was underrated means that it should have been liked more, and I think it was perfectly liked. I'm just being honest. Fortnite is better when there is little to no mobility. Hold on. You think that until a season comes out that doesn't have much mobility, and then Epic is forced to add shockwaves 2 days in because everyone's complaining. Mobility is kind of part of the game. You can't do Fortnite without mobility. Mobility is part of the game. It has always been part of the game. Ever since they added impulses and launch pads all the way back in Chapter 1, there was mobility. Now, sometimes there's too much mobility, and I'll give you that, but no mobility, I'm not with that. Fortnite has never had a bad season. Never? Not one bad season? Bro just started playing yesterday. Not one bad season? Let's slow down there. I can name a few bad seasons. I'm sure you know. Fortnite was extremely balanced in season 1 to 4. Well, there was barely anything to balance, to be fair. When the game first came out, there wasn't a lot of guns, there wasn't a lot of items. Now we have all kinds of stuff to worry about. Hot take, if we didn't have collabs, Fortnite's popularity would be the equivalent of Apex Legends. Okay, that's a hot take. Apex Legends player count on Steam. Apex Legends has 118,000 players on right now. That's actually not bad. Apex looks like it's having a good run right now if it has 118,000 players. Now Fortnite right now has about 1 million players, 1.1 million. I wouldn't say it would go down to Apex Legends numbers, but I do think collaborations helped Fortnite grow. How much? I don't know. To that extent, probably not. This has been one of the best seasons of Fortnite so far. This is referring to the Lawless season. It's an excellent season. I would say it's one of the best seasons of Fortnite. It's up there. I don't know how high, but it's up there. It's not a crazy take. Renegade Raider is a bad skin. It's just overrated because it's OG. I will have to agree. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as saying it's a bad skin, but it's just a generic OG skin that became very popular because it was rare and exclusive. There's a lot of OG season 1 skins that if they were in the same position as Renegade Raider, everyone would be obsessed over them instead. Chapter 5 map is the best map since Chapter 2. I don't agree because I like the Chapter 4 map a lot. And Chapter 3. I like Chapter 4 and Chapter 3 map more than Chapter 5. Chapter 5 just had some really good map updates, like the biomes that they did for the Zeus season, like the Greek god mythology season. Like the biomes and updates were really good, but no. Chapter 3 and Chapter 4 map are better than Chapter 5. The Kid Leroy was the most forgotten, unwanted collab. He hasn't been in the shop for almost 2 years, and I haven't seen a single mention of him since he left. Well, I remember when he came out, everyone was rocking the Kid Leroy. I don't know why he hasn't been back. Maybe he doesn't want to be back in the shop. Maybe it's a one-time thing, but he's definitely not as like relevant in Fortnite as he was when he came out. That's for sure. The Star Wars season had the most balanced loot pool out of any season. I mean, when you say that, I mean, all the guns felt the same. All the shotguns felt the same. I mean, sure.
I've got the A280 CF plasma rifle and the DC-15.
It was balanced because every gun went pew, 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 if that's what we're saying. Building didn't make Fortnite. The fact that it was free and accessible to everyone is what made Fortnite. I disagree. There was a lot of Battle Royale games coming out at the time, and there was a lot of free-to-play Battle Royale games that were coming out.
Nick, what's the game called? It's called Fortnite. It's free.
What made Fortnite stand out was the building. Now, obviously, you don't need building in Fortnite anymore. Now, Fortnite is established. You have 0 build players. A big portion of the people who play the game don't even build. But when it first came out, building is what made it stand apart. Gritty is the worst emote ever added to Fortnite. That's just factually incorrect. The donkey laugh emote, that is the worst emote ever added to Fortnite. And I'm so happy that I'm able to turn that off in the settings. Thank God. Hot take. These 4 collab skins were ruined by the Fortnite community. We're talking about Chun-Li, Lara Croft, Black Cat, and the Dune skin. I'll take some responsibility for the Chun-Li skin. I'll take some. All right. That's on me. My bad, guys. 0 build is bad. A mode that disables turbo building, added a delay between builds and edits, and limited materials would be so much better and would still allow some cool builds without it being too sweaty. Absolutely disagree. If you just nerf building, people who play 0 build won't play it, and people who play build won't play it. You'll have the least played mode of all time. Nitro fists weren't overpowered. They were overpowered before they got nerfed, after they got nerfed. They're one of the best mobility items in the game. You can roast me or whatever, but personally, I find Primal better than both this season and Galactic Battle. Okay, I like Primal more than the Star Wars season. And then when he said this season, I'm assuming he's talking about Shock and Awesome. You know what? I'm with him. That's not even a hot take. I'm with him. I'll take Primal over that. Either medallions should be removed completely, or you should be limited to only 1. Every game ends up being the same race, where you race against sweaty no-lifers for the medallions, and if you don't have any medallions that boost your mobility, you don't have much of a fighting chance. 5 medallions now. I'm 5 for 5. I'm fully maxed. I think Epic knows this, and they kind of nerfed the medallions a little bit. The medallions are not as strong as they were before. Because I kind of agree with this take. Sometimes it does become like just a game of finding the medallions. And we saw that last season with the bug medallions, how powerful they were. This grants shield reach and end gives me siphon. I can double jump, grants increased movement speed and a boost when sliding. What the hell, dude? So, yeah. Hit scan is a garbage mechanic and shouldn't come back to the game. The RNG involved and the randomness of the bloom makes it less skillful and mildly infuriating to play the game. I honestly hope the game stays with bullet drop. Disagree. Fortnite is an arcade shooter. It should always have hit scan. Bullet drop is too realistic for a game like Fortnite. The people are losing interest in Fortnite are just growing up. This is not a hot take. Sometimes people just grow out of games. Sometimes people grow out of specific games and they need to play other games. It's true, it happens. I would rather farm bots for ammo than run around opening chests. My simple hot take. Having bots are not that bad. I disagree. I'd rather open chests and ammo. When you're killing bots that are like pretending to be real players, it makes the game feel so fake. And it also lets you lower your guard. Have you ever played a game where you're like killing AI left and right, and you're just kind of like, you're not even like taking the game seriously, and then all of a sudden you run into a real player, and before you realize it, you're dead. And if you had been fighting real players from the start, you'd have been more prepared. Hot take. Emoting on someone who's dead isn't toxic. Who cares? It depends on the emote, in my opinion, and the situation of how they died. Context matters. Cosmetics should be tradable between users as long as certain requirements are met. Absolutely not. If cosmetics are tradable, it's going to cause so many people are going to get scammed. It's going to cause all kinds of issues. You should only win 1% of BR games. Well, listen, if every player, all 100 players were real, the average win rate would be 1%. Some people would be less than 1%, some people would be more. But the average would be 1%, and that's how it was before. But now that there are bots, the win rate is inflated. So yeah, I do agree that we should go back to the days of where you only won 1% of your BR games on average across all average skill level. But maybe people would quit after being used to winning more often. Last but not least, chapter 1 and 2 were overall actually bland as hell. Chapter 3 and 4 were miles better. That's just okay. Chapter 1 and 2 had less content in chapter 3 and 4, but it was a new game. This just sounds like someone who didn't really play chapter 1 and 2, and that's okay. You weren't there for peak Fortnite. That's okay. That's on you. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave more hot takes in the comments down below, and I'll make another one of these videos. See you next time.